The City Council addresses school bus and MBTA zoning issues. The Traffic Commission approves speeding mitigation measures on Edgebrook Road, and a look at views of Framingham, a new art exhibit on display at the downtown library through the end of the year. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hi, and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start with a roundup of pressing City Council matters that have taken place since our last episode 2 weeks ago before the holiday. First up, this past Monday's discussion regarding a contract on future school bus services. Leaders of the Framingham Public School District and the city's school committee have advocated for an in-house model where school bus drivers become city employees amid the continued driver shortage that has impacted transportation to and from classes for months. City Council members were asked to approve a 5-year contract with the company Anderson Motors for 72 buses. The contract, which was quoted at a total of nearly $2.5 million in a memo from FPS Executive Director of Finance and Operations Lincoln Lynch, would permit Framingham to own those vehicles after leasing them for the span of the contract. School officials urged councilors to take action soon so that the vehicles can be ready by the summer, as July 1st is the target date to begin that in-house driver system. Some members of the council saw the contract as an investment opportunity for future school transportation within the city, while others believe more vetting is needed to ensure that Framingham is heading down the right path by bringing drivers in-house.
Even if it doesn't work out perfectly, we're no worse off than we are now. It can't get much worse, really.
If you sat here tonight and told me we're absolutely going to make it absolutely works because of A, B, and C, and we'll get all our kids to school in time, it's probably worth it. I probably would support it. But I am not convinced at all that this is seen nearly the daylight it should.
Eventually, it was determined that the bus contract matter would be tabled to this upcoming Tuesday, December 10th, so that city councilors could get more information while still keeping school officials updated in a timely manner. Meanwhile, the City Council's MBTA zoning proposals from their November 25th meeting feature 8 overlay districts, including 1 new district at the Buckley apartment complex on the corner of Mount Wait Avenue and Franklin Street. Councilors could not reach a consensus on what parcels are and are not suitable for compliance with the MBTA Communities Act, which is the state law that requires municipalities with MBTA service to have to offer at least 1 multifamily housing zone by right. But the 8 districts recommended will be subject to approval, rejection, and revision later this month. The City Council will continue their MBTA zoning review during their meetings on December 17th and potentially the 19th. A reminder that Framingham could be out of compliance with the state law by January 1st, which could put the city in jeopardy of missing out on funding for a variety of local projects. Speed mitigation measures along Edgebrook Road were approved by the Framingham Traffic Commission during their meeting on Tuesday, November 26th. Residents of the area filed a petition to the city months ago, citing dangers to children, the elderly, and attendees of the church along the road, which is off of Edgebrook Road and Brook Street, as reasoning for their calls to install ways to prevent speeding.
It is not a majority. It's every single neighbor on the street signed the petition for this to be done. I mean, it's been an ongoing problem.
Following a joint report by the police department and DPW, the installation of things like speed bumps was recommended and eventually approved by the Traffic Commission. DPW Director Bob Lewis added that while money for sidewalk maintenance and creation is finite, he and his team would entertain a petition to add a sidewalk along Edgebrook Road. The commission's meeting came days before an 81-year-old woman died by Edgebrook Road and Frost Street, roughly a mile away from Edgebrook Road, the morning of Monday, December 2nd. Police say the driver of the vehicle involved did remain on the scene, while no charges have been pressed as of the time of this recording. Authorities are continuing to investigate that matter. Additional details on those recent City Council and Traffic Commission meetings can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. You can read and watch more of the stories we've covered across the community, from developments out of City Hall to highlights on local people, groups, events, and more. Subscribe to our email newsletter to ensure that you never miss out on Framingham News in Focus. Connect with us on social media too. @FrameNews_ is where you can find us on Instagram and X. Subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload an episode of The Frame. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for The Frame there. Ahead of Thanksgiving last week, local and state leaders gathered to celebrate the arrival of a $500,000 grant for the United Way of Tri-Counties program to combat food insecurity. The money, which was offered through the Greater Boston Food Bank's Community Investment Grant Initiative, will be issued to provide more meals and serve more people in need over the next 3 years. The United Way will aim to boost a mobile food pantry, purchase vehicles, and acquire additional supplies for their food insecurity programming through the grant. Officials gathered at the Pearl Street Cupboard and Cafe in Framingham last Tuesday to recognize the work done through the United Way of Tri-County. The organization noted that they provided more than 134,000 hot meals to more than 81,000 individuals in the Metro West region last year. The holiday season is underway and Framingham will be celebrating accordingly. The city's annual tree lighting ceremony and block party to ring in the holidays will be taking place this Friday, December 6th, by the Memorial Building. Residents are invited to Union Ave to take in some music, activities, food and drink, and more from 5 to 7:30 p.m. City officials said Lake Road resident David Conies donated the tree this year, which you see on your screen now. A 55-foot tall Norway spruce was installed in front of the Memorial Building on Black Friday. It's now set to be decorated from head to toe. Those in District 7 can keep the holiday cheer going this Sunday the 8th for a block party at Berkshire Road in Prindiville Ave from 3 to 4:30 p.m. with more seasonal treats and activities for neighbors to enjoy. And finally, a preview of this week's Frame by Frame segment. An art exhibit called Views of Framingham is now on display at the city's main library along Lexington Street. Through the end of 2024, visitors are welcome to enjoy pieces from artists of the downtown-based Howard Street Studios, as each work shows a perspective of the local community, from architecture to the people of Framingham and more. 100% of the proceeds from any piece of art sold will go to the Pearl Street Cupboard and Cafe, a great cause during the holiday season. We spoke with 4 of the featured artists to learn more about their work and the collection as a whole. Let's take a look.
I'm thinking if you look at all of the artists and their paintings, community is the main theme.
Well, I think that this exhibit visually feeds people, and if there's any money made from the exhibit, it can literally feed people.
As always, that full segment on the exhibit at the main library can be found on our website, theframe.news, as well as Access Framingham's channel on YouTube. Again, Views of Framingham will be on display until December 31st. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For the entire team here at The Frame, thanks for spending your time with us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.